Um, so what is parts work? Parts work recognizes the multiplicity of our psyche and our consciousness, and it intuitively recognizes parts within us. And this is something that may sound a little bit obvious to a lot of us because, um, we all kind of have different parts. We might say, oh, a part of me wants to go to the movies and another part of me wants to go bowling, or, part of me wants dessert, but another part of me wants, something else. So like we kind of like talk about that and we have the battle within ourselves of different parts. And so it's kind of like some of us are like, oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But for some reason in the Western field of psychology, it took a while for them to catch up to realizing that this was going on. Um, we can start that history in the modern Western psychology with Freud, where he's talking about the id, the ego, and the superego, and how all these different parts of ourselves are negotiating within our own psyche. And then from that went on to develop Jung's theories of developing complexes through traumas, and eventually into the humanistic gestalt, and different paradigms for psychological thought kind of progressed from there and refined this idea of different parts of ourselves, and even having different conversations with our different parts. And then it was in the 80s that Richard Schwartz took this kind of like backdrop of this field in psychology and then started to develop the internal family systems model, which he developed just from working with his clients. And his clients were coming in and saying things like this, like, a part of me is like this and a part of me is like that. And so he would just encourage people to kind of connect with that part and say, well, how do you feel about that part? And then by just saying, like, how do you feel about that part, he was able to differentiate what he calls the self from the different parts. And then that's been further developed to, let's see,